think it's about a window of tolerance, a term that we use in counselling, but I'm going to apply it to society.
Yeah.
And if you think about, you talked about Ouija women a couple of weeks ago. If you think about the women in Gaza at the moment, there's like a hierarchy of trauma. And I think anything to do with consent, which is a really difficult topic as it is, there's almost like a scale. Yeah. So, we can kind of trivialise that it was funny that the guy didn't mean to do any harm. Oh, and he didn't touch you in a flashing incident. But then we can look at these women who where, rape is weaponised as part of conflict and think, okay, well, that's far away from us. But, yeah, it was definitely worse. And I think, from my sort of perspective in my line of work, the impact that it has on women, as much as, a bit like the example you talked about around the table with everybody saying, oh, yeah, of course that happened to me. It's part of life. The impact that it actually does in terms of confidence, in terms of how people are when they go to work, in terms of, how they form relationships, it's really pernicious because it says to women that we don't matter.
Yeah.
And I think that's the impact that, is really difficult to deal with. There's a thing called inchoate offences, which is like attempt or conspiracy. You get more sentencing for those, you get a higher sentence for those than you do for actually committing a crime around sexual harassment and sexual assault, for example.
I don't understand that. It seems absurd. What's the, with your psychotherapist hat on, what's the motivation for the imposition of the hierarchy? Why does it happen? Why is there an impulse to do it? How does it help us to impose it?
Yeah, I think that's back to window of tolerance. I think that we can't look at this because it will remind us that something likely happened to us or happened to someone close to us, and we can't deal with that right now. Certainly we can't deal with that without appropriate support. And so we are happy to isolate ourselves as well as others as a sort of secondary gain. But, it's not a nice system, obviously.